you need to approach this issue carefully. And I think that main issue here, if somebody tests positive for COVID-19, be proactive, start contacting your health department, and notify the employees as well. Be upfront about it. Don't try to hide the ball on anything, and then get in and clean the location as well. One question I see coming up, and it kind of relates to the face masks. And I'll throw this out to Mike. Are gloves required at this point, at any point, for employers in California, or do you think that will ever become a requirement? And I'll throw that out to the team. I don't know if Mike, you want to address that?
Well, sure. And as we mentioned before, we're excluding kind of the healthcare businesses that have the very specific guidelines that they have to follow. But typically for your everyday employer, you have requirements under Cal OSHA to take steps that are reasonable and necessary to protect your workers from risks in the workplace. And COVID-19 is, I think, a risk that employers have to recognize exists in the workplace. And so for any particular PPE, I think the question is going to come down to, on a case-by-case basis, what are the risks that the employees that your specific employees are facing? For gloves, if your employees have regular interaction with the public or other employees, taking credit cards, handing out products, anything where they're having contact, exchanging documents or products with other employees or with the public, I think you may want to consider that probably could require gloves, especially for the public. Hand sanitizer is probably reasonable and required now, just I'd say for the entire workplace. So it's really for each PPE, it would be analyzing how the employee faces the risks of potentially contracting COVID-19 and what PPE would be necessary to mitigate that risk.
Yep, good. And I wanted to address too, see some questions coming in about employers taking employees' temperature. On this slide that we have up right now, it's if there's been a known exposure in the workplace, I think the employer's on a heightened duty to start screening more regularly. But I think, currently though, even if you don't have a confirmed case in your workplace, it's a good measure. You should be pre-screening the employees, taking temperatures, assessing their symptoms before they start work. And we are warning everybody that needs to be paid time, have the employee clock in and then do the screening. And then a question came in too, do we need to ask for permission and get a signature from the employee, or I'll throw that out to the team. What do you guys think about documentation on the screening?
Well, I think the employers can go ahead and measure temperatures without permission. It's part of the guidelines from the CDC. It's going to become the new norm, I think. It's just a reality that we're dealing with. And it's a good precaution to take because it's one of the factors to assess the symptoms, and employers nowadays are required to check in on the symptoms of the employers, and you can maintain that information actually in a separate document from the employee's personnel file and keep the information confidential. But no consent or permission to take a temperature is necessary. It's been okayed by the CDC and the EEOC.